What's up, guys? Dylan Rush here with Cage Side Press, joined today by a world-renowned kickboxing champion, widely regarded as one of the greatest strikers in combat sports history. Currently, karate combat middleweight, Raymond, the real deal Daniels. How you doing, Raymond?
I'm doing great, brother. I can't complain. Life is beautiful. I'm blessed. I'm out here enjoying Texas. Having a good time. My daughter will be 1 this month, right after my fight. So I'm excited about that as well.
I want to ask you first things first, where you got this real deal nickname. Where did it originate from? Who gave it to you?
Oh man, this originated back in the day when I was a kid. I used to really like Evander Holyfield. I just like his fighting style. He was kind of like this underdog always, but he always managed to come out on top. I remember reading some of his different training methods and different things that he was doing. And then people were telling me like I fight like the real deal. They're like, you fight like Holyfield. You're this underdog that's just came out of nowhere. Nobody knows who you are. So it kind of and then my initials are RD. So it kind of had a nice little ring to it, stuck together, and it's stuck with me over the years.
Yep, makes sense. I like it. I'm going to go a little bit further back than that nickname real quick. I want to know what got you started in combat sports originally. I know your grandfather, right, Frankie, was a boxer, and your dad was in combat sports too as well. Were they the two biggest influences getting you started in this career?
No, they helped me along the way, especially my father with as far as the martial arts side of it. But I had won like literally every sport karate world title multiple times over. So I wanted to evolve, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's a shameless plug, Evolution Fighting System, Evolution Martial Arts, which is my program. I needed to evolve as a person, as an athlete. And the next level was taking that into like the kickboxing and MMA world and doing it professionally. So that was I wanted to see. I always had this thing, and I have it on my vision board. Is like how good or how great can it be? You know what I mean? If you put your best foot forward to whatever it is, how great can you be at it? How good can it be? How good can you get at it? So that's what was my motivation, and just to continue to evolve as a fighter.
So were you competing all throughout like your growing up, like as a teenager as well, just competing all throughout all like all competitions like karate, or was it all different martial arts?
Yeah, so I did a few different martial arts. I have like black belts in Kempo, Shotokan, American Taekwondo, and Muay Thai. And so I've always competed and traveled. I did like other sports and stuff like that, but martial arts was always like a way of life for me. I've been very fortunate and blessed to be able to. Martial arts has opened so many like doors for me to be able to like see the world. Yeah, I've traveled over to Europe, to South America. I've been over to Australia. I've been in places where I never thought that I would ever go. Just to either compete as a martial artist or even teach seminars and things of that nature. Yeah, I've always been doing it, competed in pretty much any style. For me, the whole point of my style being about evolving is every sport basically has a rule set, whether you say it's karate combat or you say it's say like MMA or you say it's kickboxing. It's just whatever rule set. And if you are good at your craft or great at your craft, you should be able to compete no matter what the rule set is. If I said it's just boxing, okay, well, let's box. Let me show you how good my skill set is. And so I've always competed in everything. I've traveled around the world and competed against the best in the world. And and now I'm here at Karate Combat.
Yep. I read that when you were 21, you became a police officer.
Yeah. Actually,
for 7 years, right? Over 7 years, you
yeah,
were in the police department.
Yeah, 7, 8 years. When you're young, you know what I mean. Everybody plays cops and robbers or something, right? You know what I mean. And I came from a little bit of a rougher area. You know what I mean. When I came up, and I was used to seeing a lot of craziness going on. And a lot of police coming in and going out and doing things, and I wanted to kind of change that cycle that I was seeing that was going on in my community, in my home. So I wanted to try and like help people, and I thought that being a police officer would give me that opportunity to be able to like say give back to the community, give back to the people around me, and then just I didn't really see a lot of police officers that say I could relate to even if I had to talk to somebody or something like that. So I wanted to kind of, give it a little bit of, so it was a goal I had. And I had a son really young. I was a kid and I had a kid. And I was like, okay, now I gotta get my stuff together. And that was one of my big motivations also for getting into law enforcement is I had grown up and then I did it so early because I had a kid and I was like, okay, I need to do something that is gonna one set a good example, have a good foundation and good environment for him.
How old is that as your first son now?
Oh, Ray J, who 25 now. He's
Wow.
25. Yeah. So he's getting up there. He's actually literally just moved out here to Texas not even a week ago.
Wow.
I was trying to convince him to like, come on out, man, come on out. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay here in Cali. I'm like, all right, man, do your thing. And then he hit me up like a week and a half ago. He's like, all right, I'm ready. And I was like, all right, come on out. So he just got a little place down the street from me or whatever. And so I'm excited to have him out here as well.
He's a few years older than me, your son. That's cool.
Yeah. That's what I said. It's like, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's a few years ahead, but he's doing his thing, figuring out life. You know what I mean? So
Yep, we're all trying to. So it seems like you liked being a police officer though. What prompted you to pursue a full-time career in combat sports when you were around what, 28, 29?
yeah. So like I was competing. That was back when I was doing like I had the opportunity to do like World Combat League and stuff with Chuck Norris. It was a really cool opportunity that popped up and presented itself. But I found out like while I was a cop, I made some lifelong friends that I'm still in contact with to this day. But I wasn't able to help people as much as like you know what I mean. I thought I would be. That was one of the big things. Secondly, I found that I could help more people through my martial arts, through teaching karate, being able to extend my reach, so to speak, with the full contact aspect, and then become, a little more well known, be able to influence people with this gift that I was blessed with. So, and then one of the biggest things is being a single father at the time. My son's mother passed away when he was like 5, and like running towards danger, like risk versus reward. You know what I mean? I remember like just different situations. There's either shootings or people being stabbed, and I'm the one running in. Everybody else is running this way, and I'm running towards the danger. And then there was one night I was thinking, like, what if something actually happened? For a kid, I would imagine it's already hard enough to lose like one parent in a lifetime. You know what I mean? Early and grow up without that parent. How would a kid deal if they had lost two of their parents? You know what I mean? So, for me, risk versus reward, being a martial arts instructor, running my own school, fighting professionally has allowed me to be able to spend more time with my son, even my daughter now that I have a new one. So I hit the reset button basically, but it allows me to spend more time with them, you know what I mean? And actually enjoy experiences with them. They're able to travel with me. They're able to do things I'm able to spend more time with my family, with my wife and my kid. So that was what, and then I wanted to see how good or great I could become at it. You know what I mean? Like you're young, you got your passion that you're doing with this. I love that. You know what I mean? Because I think more people should pursue things that they're passionate about. And if you put your mind and put your heart into it, I mean, sky's the limit of what you can accomplish. And that's what kind of drove me. I didn't want to have any regrets. So like, what if I would have fought? What if I would have done this and I would have done that? You know what I mean? Like that would always, I think, weigh on my heart if I didn't put my best foot forward to something that I was truly like passionate about, that I loved.
Mhm. Oh, I doubt you have any regret about, pursuing this full
Oh,
time.
not at all. Not at all.
On the topic of family, what did you think of your brother-in-law, Sage Northcutt's performance last week at One Championship, man? What was it, 30 seconds, 38 seconds?
Yeah, man. And Sage is the man. Sage is he's an incredible like human. He's like one of the only people. I was talking to my wife Colby, and I was like, do you know Sage is like the only person, like including my family, anybody I've ever known, that actually just call him like, hey, what's up? How you doing? How's your day? Cool. All right, that's it. I'm like, who calls? Like, how many people do you think have like that call you just like, man, I'm just calling Dylan. What's up, man? Just see how your day was. You have a good day? Oh, you did? Okay, cool, man. All right, well, have a good night, man. And I'm like, that's like a genuine human. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, so like it was I think it was a great opportunity for him to come back. It was a great fight. It was a great finish. I mean, he went through some difficult adversity that a lot of people don't know about and stuff like that. He just went through a bunch of different things, you know, and it was amazing to see him come back and persevere through all that adversity, you know. Sometimes you get hit, you get put down, and you know, and it's unfortunate. Many people want to see you fail. You know what I mean? No matter how good or how nice or how polite you are, people want to see you fail in life, and it's unfortunate. But you know, it was great to see him get that W. I know he's super excited. He's ready to get back at it, and he's already, I think, training and stuff like that. He's already ready back to go. So it was awesome to be there, you know, with my wife and my daughter. We went there. We make sure, even though I have a fight coming up, Sage was like, "Dude, are you sure you're coming out, man?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "Look, this is a really big fight for you." I was like, "It's your first one back after 4 years." I was like, having that extra layer of support and unity and family down there just makes, you know what I mean, makes the experience in the fight week that much easier for him. So it was great to be down there, and it was awesome for my daughter to see him get his first W. My wife, she was super emotional because, you know, it's her little brother up in there. So, but it was great. I'm really proud of that.
I heard he'll be at your fight next now in a week or two, right?
Yeah. That's what he was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Man, you came all the way out here to my fight." He's like, "I gotta come out to your fight." I was like, "You don't have to come to my fight stage." I was like, "I just, you know, I got you, man. Like that's, you know what I mean?" I was like, "That's the kind of support I want to give you." And so he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna come out." I was like, "Cool, man. It'd be good to see you there and stuff like that." So he's gonna be out in Miami hanging with us.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I don't want to tell you a bunch of things you already know, but I'm gonna just say it for my viewers out there. You are 8-time NBL world champion, 9-time Irish Open Grand Champion, 2015 Waco world champion, Bellator kickboxing welterweight champion, WCL champion with Chuck Norris, like you just mentioned. There's a bunch of others. I can't get to all of them, but my question is, what led you to Karate Combat? What prompted you in August 22 to sign with this promotion? After all you've achieved, man, you've accomplished everything there is to accomplish.
Yeah. I've done some cool stuff. I was doing some cool stuff with MMA and got some not cool knockouts and stuff like that. So I was doing that, but then Karate Combat kind of like popped on the scene. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, like this is kind of like a rule set that in the skill set that's like tailored towards me and towards what I do, you know. And then I was super interested in like the pit. I'm like, oh, look at those walls, like that.
Right?
That's kind of, can you jump off of those? My coach always describes like coaching me. He's like, man, he's like, coaching you is so much fun. He was like, I want to bring a controller one time, so it's like a video game. He was like, I'm just like start button mashing, you just start spinning around or something. So for me, the interest of Karate Combat is they I think it's multiple things. One, I enjoy the actual environment. It's more of like a tailor-made type thing, like a custom fitted like suit. Like you can wear a suit, but when you get like a custom fitted suit, it's like okay, this one's feel a little different. So you know, it's like this custom league that is, like I said, it's made, I think, for a specific skill set like mine, where I'm able to show what true martial arts is. Also, like just dealing with promoters and different things. A lot of times, I was dealing with Adam a lot, and I think a lot of different organizations, not all of them, but a lot of them aren't passionate about their fighters, about the art that they're doing. They kind of just treat them as, I don't know, employees, and they don't have the respect, the discipline, and honor that comes with the actual craft. It's like if you only learn the physical brutality side, and what Karate Combat presented was something totally different. They're packaging things. They're not trying to create this disrespectful environment that you see a lot of people trying to create, this hype and disrespecting people's either their religions, their beliefs, their race, you know, you see a lot of that in the MMA world, and I see Karate Combat is not really, you know, not about that life. And I actually enjoy that, because not only do I want to go out and I want to perform, I want to provide for my family, but I also want to make sure that I'm, you know, you get your couple seconds of fame, so to speak. So you want to make sure you're being a good role model, so to speak, for the people that you're influencing that you don't even know you're influencing.
Makes sense, man. It's very admirable. You kind of just answered this. I was going to ask you about your treatment within the promotion. You're 1-1 now. Like, how do you feel in the promotion? Are you happy with Karate Combat? And then also, they got guys like Bass Root and Wonder Boy who you competed against. You're doing training videos with GSP. So do you feel like they're doing a lot of things right, bringing a lot of the right guys?
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job of branding. You know what I mean, of branding their the product, and they're bringing in people that are very well respected in the game, like Boss, like GSP, like Wonder Boy. You know what I mean? They're people that are well respected in the martial arts scene, in the martial arts world, and they can actually relate to the fighters and understand, what the fighters are going through, the techniques that they're throwing. So it's really cool to see those guys, especially. I hadn't had a chance to really talk to Boss that much, and I actually got a chance to say he was on the same flight, and I literally sat next to him on the plane back. That was so cool. He's such a cool guy,
That's
and I had a blast talking to him. And GSP, we've actually been good friends for a while. He's been my guy for a good minute. He was actually a training partner for like my he was my sparring partner for a couple of my kickboxing fights, which was awesome to have. Like, who wouldn't want GSP? He was like, hey man, he hit me up. He's like, do you mind if I come down and I'll be your sparring partner for your fight? I'm like, you don't even have that. You just show up at my door and you got whatever you need, man. So but yeah, I think it's really cool. I'm really enjoying the organization. Honestly, they have come through with everything that they said that they were going to do. They're continuing to grow. So I'm really enjoying it. They've been giving us the kind of like first class treatment and stuff like that. And I see they do that for me. They do it for all the other fighters as well. So I don't really have any complaints about it. You know.
I like what you said about how they're like very respectful, like they're not doing the whole trash talk, like some other professions you see guys disrespect religions, as you mentioned, and then just the people we just mentioned, bring in guys like Bas Rutten, GSP, and Wonderboy. It's just all these great, well-respected, respectful guys that are not that way. They're the way that we're talking about karate combat is. So definitely doing a good job with Brandon. I always do this with my interviews. We're like 20 minutes in. We haven't mentioned what we're supposed to talk about, the fight. So I got to ask you, you're fighting Sasha Paletnikov at KC 39, Karate Combat 39, May 20th, Miami, Florida. What do you know about this guy? What makes him a good stylistic matchup for yourself?
Sasha's he's a gamer. Like, I mean, he used to be in the UFC himself. I think he's 1-1 right now, but if I'm being honest, I thought he won the fight that he lost. I didn't think he lost that fight. I thought he dominated, and I don't know what the judges were calling. I actually like his style, like his fighting. He's a gamer. So I'm looking forward to fighting him. He's a guy that's got a lot of heart. Honestly, we're meeting at like a catch weight because part of the problem is I have there's not a lot of people that actually want to step in the pit with me or any ring with me and stuff like that, because if they see my highlight reel, they're like, I'm not trying to be part of that life. It's like, I always said, like, I could try and make you famous real quick, so, but no, so Sasha, I had like 3 or 4 people like back out of a fight with me. And Sasha was like, they were like, hey, we got something that might work. He's a middleweight and I fight at welterweight. They're like, you guys can meet in the middle. And I was like, all right. So we're kind of fighting this middleweight ground right now. But
The
my last fight,
175?
yes, 175. See, so my last fight, my first fight, they hit me up and I fought in the middleweight, but that was just because it was like, hey, come fight. And I was like, all right, I'm ready. Then my normal weight class is 165. This fight's going to be at 175. And he's coming down from 185 to 175. But that's what I mean by he's a gamer. He has the heart to like step in and fight. He's like, all right, come on, let's go. And I like that and I can appreciate that. He's I've gotten a chance to check out his fights and stuff. He's got a really good skill set. He likes to use his hands, likes to get in close, likes to put a lot of pressure. But I tend to shine on people that have. He has a fighting style similar to old sparring partner of mine, Sean Strickland. Sean and I used to go at it. He's a good buddy of mine, but Sean's a little off his rocker, but I love him. No,
I love Sean Strickland. I know he's crazy, but where did you guys get together? Did you train in Las Vegas or was that out in California?
No, we were in California. Sean used to show up at my karate school, and it'd just be him and I in the gym scrapping. And so he's my guy though. Where he's crazy, but he's my friend crazy. That's how I was looking at it. If there's a crazy person, I really want to be friends with him because you never know what they're gonna do. And I want him to just be, if he's just angry and he looks at me, he's like, okay, that's my friend. It just goes after everybody else. So no, Sean's a good guy. So, but Sean and I used to spar a lot, and Sean, as you know, brings pressure. He's 24/7 pressure. So he was a great sparring partner that I had it. I don't think his style is exactly like Sean's by any means, or he could even apply that much pressure on me like Sean did. But I see similarities to like how he tries to push forward and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm expecting that. And, you know, it's, again, I'm back fully healed this fight and stuff. My last fight, probably in hindsight, probably shouldn't have took the fight because my neck was, I got cleared by the doctors, but I wasn't able to like turn my head and do any of my techniques like I would normally do. So that's in hindsight. But as a fighter, you're like, oh, I can take anybody. What? You got one hand. I can still do it. You know what I mean? Like, so there's never any doubt, any fear, any hesitation, you know, but now I feel better. I feel 100%. And I'm looking forward to this fight. So I always love to get back in and compete. And like I said, anytime you get knocked down, so to speak, or anytime you get humbled from something, you know, there's always growth and learning in that. And a lot of people don't see that. Most people want to just knock at a person that doesn't have success in an instant or in a moment. But what they fail to realize is that person is living their experience in life. They're putting themselves out there. I mean, look at what you're doing with your organization and stuff like that. You're putting yourself out there. You're getting your face seen. You're getting in contact with people, you know. So and that's how you do it. Some interviews will go amazing, some not so good. But whether they're good, whether they're bad or different, you learn, you grow, you become better, you become stronger from it.
This has been pretty.
And that's how I feel about the fight. So, what was that? Sorry.
I said this has been a pretty good interview so far, man. I'm having a good time. I hope you are too.
Hey, thanks, brother. Yeah.
I didn't expect to talk about Sean Strickland. I wanted to ask you, are we going to see Exhibit walk out with you on May 20th?
Oh, I know, my man, X to the Z. Man, that kind of came to be from a friend that I knew from a while back. And he was like, oh man, I got Exhibit. I want to link you guys up. And I went down. I met up with them at the studio while they were doing their thing. I was like, oh, I was a huge Exhibit fan too, man. So I was just like, oh. And then we were flying. I had a fight overseas, and I was like, man, you know, it'd be dope if you came out. He's like, man, I don't really do that anymore. I was like, come on, man. And then I started to talk to my dude, and then we worked it out, and freaking like had Exhibit freaking bring me out. I was like, whoo. And then we went out and hung out afterwards. The coolest person like I think I've met. Like, you think like sometimes when someone accomplishes so much in a field, or you see this image that's kind of portrayed like because of, you know, kind of what they do, where they're at, but then you meet them as a person. And you know, I was always a fan of him. You know, didn't know what type of human he was, and he's just a great human being. So he was awesome.
That's great, man. So this one's gonna be at 175, like you mentioned, but I have to ask, Ross Levine's going to be there. You've competed against him before in karate. Do you feel like a victory over Sasha will put you next in line for a middleweight title shot, or maybe a welterweight title shot with a victory in this next one?
Well, if I could get any welterweights to fight me, then that would put me back in line for my welterweight shots. Only the bigger boys are like, we'll fight them. Like, come on. So I don't honestly have any aspiration to fight against Ross. Ross is actually, even though we've competed against each other, people always probably assume we probably didn't like each other because of like, you know, how we would go at it, but we would actually hang out and stuff afterwards and stuff like that. So and then when it comes to like this full contact realm, I think we've competed enough against each other. I think Ross is as good as he is today because he fought against a competitor like me. I'm good as I am today because I fought against somebody of his skill set magnitude as well. So when it comes to like the full contact realm, unless the numbers really make sense, like where they're like, hey, Raymond, Ross, we're going to pay you guys, then I'll be like, Ross, let's dance one more time, brother. You know what I mean? But otherwise, I don't really have any immediate aspirations to go after. Honestly, I'm very proud of Ross. Like, it's more of like I set off, for me, when I evolved into the full contact realm, it was people that are coming from my sport that didn't really have nowhere to go afterwards. So I've kind of like paved the way for guys to step out. So like Ross that came after me. I got this one of my young guys who's actually a teammate of mine fighting on this card, Elijah Everill, who he's from the UK. But again, a young guy. He's I think 21, 22, and he's going to be. I think he just turned 22. That's why I said 21. Then I was like, no, 22 is birthday was just that. That would be fighting, and he's actually fighting on a card with me. You know what I mean? And they did a picture of it of him being a little kid at my seminar over at the Irish Open in Ireland. That his instructor brought him over. So and then he became my teammate. Now he's fighting on the same card as me. So that being said, like I don't really have any aspirations to fight against anybody who comes from where I come from, because I feel like it was my job to be that leader, that pioneer, that kind of paved the way to say, hey, this is what we're capable of doing, and kind of showing it. And now everybody sees how amazing that Ross is. I mean, look at what he did his last fight. I mean, it's just beautiful. Boom! I was like, oh! I was yelling at the TV. Beautiful walk off, hook, knockout. Like, come on, it doesn't get better than that, you know? So
Isn't that kind of cool? The coolest part of it? I don't know. You could tell me. I don't know. But like the titles, the wins, the losses, the accolades, all that stuff is cool. But to see someone that you taught at a seminar when they're what, 5 years old, 10 years old, and now they're your teammate, now they're fighting on the same card as you. I mean, that has to be the coolest feeling.
yeah, to be honest, like I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Like, honestly, it makes me feel that I'm getting older too. Like that's the only reason I know I'm going. I'm like, man, I see a picture of somebody, I'm like, hold up, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, it's honestly, that's why I do what I do, and that's why I like. Again, that's why karate combat was such a good fit for me, because they didn't require me to like. I like to let my skill set shine, and my skill set should be the thing that influences people or my interactions with them, not me being disrespectful. Like, if you look at like, like I don't know Conor McGregor, for instance, as a person, but if you look at all the disrespectful things that he's done, but people still gravitate towards that. Now, I wouldn't want that to be a role model for my son. You're 21. I wouldn't want that to be a role model for you. How to mistreat people, how to disrespect people. That's not something that I would want you to aspire to, or my son to aspire to, or my daughter to aspire to be like. So I think that's what, certain fighters like GSP, Bass Root, Wonder Boy, Sage Northcutt, right? These are what these fighters, collectively have. They give the beauty of the art, but without being, disrespectful. They're still great fighters. So for me, influencing somebody from a young age and then seeing them like, go through the years and go through go through it all the transitions, and then be able to become, say, my teammate, and then to be able to come and fight on a professional card with me. I mean, I remember him, he came out to stay in California with me and was telling me how he wanted to fight. He was probably like, I think 17, 18. And I was teaching him how to drive on the correct side of the road, because they drive on the other side over there. They haven't figured it out yet. So he was like, oh man, he's like, I got to drive on the other side. So he was all nervous. But I made him drive. He's like, I don't want to do it. I was like, you got to do it. So I still have videos. I'll give it to Karate Combat of me making him drive on the correct side of the road. But yeah, man, it's awesome to see that. It's such a great feeling. It's a humbling feeling to know that, like, directly and indirectly, that I can influence people's lives for the better. And that's honestly one of the biggest things that I got into it for, and why I wanted to do it. That's why I have a martial arts studio, because I can do it within my city and the kids in the city and in the neighborhoods that I'm around. So not everybody has a strong structure of a home. So martial arts gives them that consistency, and gives them leadership, teaches them how to be leaders, teaches them a skill set to carry on for life.
Definitely. I just got two more for you, man. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the question I finish every interview with. I'm curious to get an answer from you. When it's all said and done, all these different martial arts, all these different, being a policeman, being a fighter, this, that, karate combat, what do you want people to remember most about Raymond, the real deal Daniels, above all else?
That I'm the GOAT. I always put God over all things. My goal is to be the greatest of all time. But just make sure you love your friends, love your family, love what you do in life. Even if it's not the thing that you want to do, you still have to love yours. I'm always love what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do. I love the martial arts, and this is my give back to it, my fighting, my fighting systems, all that good stuff. So, when it's all said and done, I just, want people to know that you should enjoy and have fun with every experience that you have. And that's what I'm doing. And my goal is to be the greatest of all time. But first and foremost, let everybody know that God taught me how to do it, and put God over all things.
That is a great answer, man. I really appreciate it. And then the last thing I want to ask, tell me about that shirt. What does it stand for?
Oh,
Evolution Martial Arts Center. Is that what it is?
yeah, Evolution Martial Arts Center. So I have a fighting system. It's like evolution fighting system, whereas I just literally teach the skill set of my fighting, like how I do the cool moves that I do with the footwork, the angles. So I have it literally broken down into like 8 different levels. But then I have actually my Evolution Martial Arts Center, where the fighting system is inside of it, but I also teach more of the character development side of it with it. So this is my karate school here in Georgetown, Texas. So if you guys are ever in there, check it out, Evolution Martial Arts Center. We got a brand new location coming out on Williams Drive. We're excited. It's being finished and being built out right now. So we're super pumped. And yeah, man, actually, it's a really good time talking to you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I had a great time. Everyone go check out Evolution Martial Arts Center and check out my guy Raymond Daniels, May 20th, Karate Combat 39, back in the pit. We're all looking forward to it, man. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Be good. Good luck, man.